guys, it's Sasha, and today I'm here with another recent reads video. I'm going to be talking about 5 books today. Let's get started. The first book I'm going to be talking to you about is Q&A by Vikas. Anyway, I rated this book at 3.5 stars. I really wanted to do a review on this book, but I'm not sure why I didn't. I think I was reading this when I was away. I really enjoyed the characters and the narrative. I liked the way in which this book was written. I found it to be really interesting. It was informative, and I just really enjoyed how it was written. They would go from one question to how he knows the answer to that question by a flashback, and I really liked how the author threaded the characters throughout the whole book, because he didn't just, mention one and then, it was gone and forgotten. He really threaded them throughout the book. I really enjoyed the setup, and I thought this was a very original storyline, at least to me. I watched the movie when it first came out so long ago, but I don't really remember anything about it, really, so I would really like to watch the movie for this. The next book I'm going to talk about is Go Ask Alice by Anonymous, or Anonymous, aka Beatrice Sparks. First, this book was really hard for me to get through. The narrator was annoying at points, and I thought that she was very stereotypical teenager in some areas. I'm not sure if it was because her know-it-all attitude or just her stereotypical role I felt like she was playing. I did enjoy the realistic drug spiral, her downward spiral, and I enjoyed the ending, how it ended. It really tore me up. I rated this book 3.5 stars. The next book I'm going to be talking about is The Splendor of Silence by Indu Sundaresan. I really like Indu Sundaresan's work. This is not my favorite book by her. In fact, I'd say this is one of my least favorite books by her, but it wasn't a bad book. I rated this book 3 stars. There were a couple of problems I had with this book. The time switches in the beginning were a little confusing for me because I didn't really know any of the characters. The characters for me weren't really enjoyable in the beginning. Usually she has such likable or at least interesting characters, but I did not really like her 2 main characters in this book in the beginning part. As the story went on, I began to enjoy them a little bit more. I felt that the romance in this book was a little bit, forced. It just sort of wasn't there, then it was there, and I didn't really like that part. I found the reason for the romance lacking, but I did enjoy the mystery part of this book a little bit, and I was quite surprised at the end of this book. I would really enjoy another book based on Olivia, who was a side main character in this book. I would really like to see her as she goes on. I'm not going to say what because that's sort of a spoiler, but as she goes forward with her life, I'd really like to see what happens with her with that. The next book I read was The Virgin Queen's Daughter by Ella March Chase. I really enjoyed this book. I rated it 4 stars. The main character, Neale, I really liked. I liked how she learned along the way a whole bunch of different things. I sort of liked the intrigue about the fact that she was Queen Elizabeth's secret daughter, and I enjoyed the different things that came with that, the danger, the suspense. I also enjoyed the romance in this book. I really liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. The final book I'm going to be talking about is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Hurston. I rated this book 3 stars. I had to read this for school. Side note, I wasn't really looking for the deeper hidden meaning behind this book or anything, so yeah. This book was written in Southern Black dialect. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it was written in some kind of Southern dialect, so it was a little hard. I personally just like to read through books very quickly, and I know it's sometimes not really a good thing because you can miss things along the way, so I really had to take my time and read through this book. The beginning of this book was a little confusing as we dive right in to people talking about the main character, Janie, and we don't really know anything about her, and we don't really know anything about the people who are talking about her, so the beginning of the book was a little bit confusing to me. The first section of this book, which is Janie's younger life, I did not really enjoy. That was my least favorite part of the book. As the book goes on, I started to enjoy it more, probably because the characters were more likable towards the end, and I have a feeling Hurston did that for a reason, because Janie's husbands got better, as well as their attitude towards her got better towards the end of the book. Because one thing I noticed is with each husband she had, they treated her better, and the book seemed much more lighter, I think reflecting Janie's feelings towards life and towards them. The end of this book had an intense standoff that I thoroughly enjoyed. That's all for now. I'll catch y'all later. Bye!